Welcome to the 6 Mil Show. I am Spartan Bambi. I'm joined today with Spartan Grimlock and Callsign Friendly Fire. And today's topic of discussion, the overarching topic, is Airsoft upgrades for your rifs. Are they worth it? Now, we did in our last episode, sights, gadgets, and gizmos for Airsoft. So I thought as a natural progression, we'd talk about upgrades. But before we get into that, say hello, Grimlock, and say hello, Callsign Friendly Fire.
Hello, Grimlock.
Hello, Callsign Friendly Fire.
Yes, you didn't have to take that literally.
That was super good.
How you guys been anyway? It's been a while since we've
been broadcasting for years.
Yeah. Like this isn't total amateur hour after all.
I'm having withdrawals.
You're having withdrawals from Airsoft. You and me both, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn whether to take my good old trusted Lavoa or take out the AUG. I don't know what to do.
Hey, that's the thing. What type of slice is this Andover place?
I haven't got a clue, mate, because
right.
I'm assuming it might be outdoors, knowing that it's
might be worth
site.
a Google.
Yes, it might be worth a googly. Yes. Anyway. Okay, guys, so today's overarching topic is upgrades. Now, I've only ever upgraded one of my rifs, which is my Crytek Lavoa. And from a personal standpoint, it was the worst thing I ever did.
Ooh. Oh dear. Because
I've had to try and find magazines that work with the new HOP unit. I've only just done that now. The tracer unit is useless because I don't play night games, so I don't know why I bothered with a tracer.
Is that one of those tracer hop units?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I bothered with that.
That drains the battery even faster.
Exactly. It sounded good at the time.
Wait. So you got a tracer unit inside the hop rather
unit,
than just getting a separate adaptation screwed onto the front?
You'd have to change the rail on the Lavoa to get a tracer unit on it. If you if you see the front, which has got like this meat tenderizer on the front of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool if you do frequent night games or you've got a couple of batteries.
Yeah, but as
I said, you've not got that faux sort of suppressor at the front.
No, it's
not.
Again, it's just not worth it because it drains the battery to buggery. Even 11.1s, it drains the battery rather quick. I've disconnected that.
You've got to swap it out by lunch, haven't you?
Yeah. But no, when I first used it with the tracer unit just on all the time, I got through one game on a 7.4.
Christ.
Yeah, it killed my battery. So and I've also got a programmable trigger which decides on occasion to change its programming. So I'm going semi-auto and all of a sudden I go to burst fire 3 burst fire modes and it's like I don't want to do that. So yeah, it's for the money I paid for the upgrades, I think I made the gun worse. The only thing really that's probably made any difference is the tight ball barrel and the hot rubber. Everything else has probably made it a worse gun, to be fair. And I've had to I've had to adapt the way I use the riff, if you know what I mean. It's not just point and shoot anymore. It's like, oh, I've got to shoot 6 rounds into the ground to get my magazines work before I can engage anyone and everything like that. Now that I'm up with my own magazines.
But you don't need to do that anymore
because
you've got those new mags.
Yeah, but it was a pain in the ass if you had to do a quick reload. So,
oh yeah, I remember that.
From my point of view, when it comes to the ultimate question, is there any point upgrading your gun? If you're buying a high-end gun anyway, and I'm talking anything over £300, maybe 250 quid, no, don't bother. That would be my ultimate. And thank you for joining us for the podcast. No, I don't think it's worth it. To be fair, I mean, unless you're, this is my opinion. Unless you're, if you're buying a high-end gun anyway, you don't need to upgrade it. Simple as that.
To be honest, if you're buying a gun for that kind of money, it should shoot like a bloody laser coming straight out the box.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
Mm.
I mean, I got that new Prol for 180 quid.
Yeah.
And that thing was like a laser out the box. It's not needed any upgrades. Only just now is its FPS only just starting to drop.
Yeah. I mean, my little new Pro Defender was a lovely riff. I mean, Rick, you friendly fire, you know this because you bought it off me when it was close to end of life.
Yeah, and that end of life, it was a lot further away than I think you think it was. Because I mean, I used that for fighting in forests and woodlands and throwing it around because I was so anxious about damaging my MP5 since my
Since you
first
fell on
woodland
it.
game with it. Yeah, well, I mean, some hills are steeper than others, and I ended up snapping off the sling retention bracket. Obviously, didn't want that to happen again, so I thought, yeah, if I could get a riff that I could throw around the dirt, hit against the tree, and I'm not going to be too bothered about it,
The
then
next crap he
great.
hears, he hopes it's his spine.
Yeah. Well,
But it actually, it did well to last a little bit longer, and then I think something happened to it. I needed to get it
the new
briefly
Pro was
repaired.
really robust.
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. My new Pro, year
I
and a
think they're
half,
very
but I did
robust,
batter the crap out of it. I did play a lot of games with that riff.
And it was cheap and cheerful as well for an entry level riff. It was exactly what you need. And my Cymer MP5 is still going strong to this day.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? It's like if my opinion with upgrades is now is if you're buying a high end gun, £250 plus, you shouldn't have to upgrade it, and that includes Tokyo Maruis, anything and Arthurians, anything like that. There's no point putting extra money. You've already spent £250 plus. Should be a decent riff anyway.
Yeah, I spent what did I spend on my Crusader? I think it was 3 ton, wasn't it?
What, the riff base model out the box? You mean?
Yeah, my Arthurian Crusader. I think that was 3 ton, wasn't it? The one with it's because it's basically M16 A3 with the M203.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing it's fantastic. It's great.
Yeah.
It's just because it's heavier than me M4, me new Pro M4. My go-to is me new Pro M4, but I love taking the Crusader out. The only qualm I do have with that is the front end wobbles.
It's a bit rattly, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. The barrel is straight. The barrel stays put, but it's the handguard and the M203 which kind of wobble from side to side. If there's a way of stabilizing that and stopping that, I'd be made up.
Yeah.
Because I had the same problem with my ICS M4 with the Rizon M203, but that was because I put a aftermarket rail on it.
Right. Oh, here's a question then. Is it if high end guns should be shooting like lasers anyway? What's your opinion of upgrading a low end gun?
I mean, why are you upgrading a low end gun in the first place?
That was going to be my point. It's like, yeah, if you're spending £150, £200, then it's cheap and cheerful. There's no point putting extra money into it, is there?
I mean, what's it going to cost you to upgrade it? That may not cost the price of that same gun again.
Yeah,
and
then you think to yourself, okay, I've bought a cheap and cheerful gun. I put £200 worth of upgrades in. Why didn't I, including labour? Why didn't I just buy the £400 gun and save myself the trouble? You know,
or why don't I just get this cheap gun? It shoots well out the box. I've got my mags and all that for it. When it comes to end of life, you can strip it down, keep any parts which aren't too worn, etc. If anything does break on another gun that you could buy for that price.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you could sell that gun on before it's end of life, like you did with Friendly.
Yeah, and then just invest in something else. I mean,
it's always rare.
It's
always good to sell on an aged gun, maybe to a new player who obviously doesn't have that amount of money to spend even on a low end.
Or if you want to encourage someone to play, lend them your aged guns so they don't have to spend money on rentals. So that's always a good thing as well.
You can pay you instead.
Yeah, give me the £10 for the day, and I won't charge you over the odds for BBs either.
Any BB.
So I think it sounds like we're all in agreement that maybe upgrades. Although I've got to admit, it's
certain upgrades.
I was going to say it's the excitement of it. I think got the better of me.
I think
Well, I got to think here. So let's say you've bought your gun, like you've bought your Lavoa or your Arthur, in my case Mark 18, and you're a fan of it. It works, it fires well out of the box. It's not quite a beginner gun. It's between novice and intermediate, so you're ranging well on the field. You're playing competitively, and the riff isn't letting you down. It isn't going to necessarily need an upgrade to improve your game. But for me, obviously they are toys. It's not real steel. So at some point it's going to break something, and it's going to wear down, and it's going to need repairing. Would you repair it like for like, or take that opportunity to upgrade it and improve it? So rather than say just putting in the same kind of curved hop for something that's worn away, you put in a flat hop, or instead of just cleaning the barrel or changing the cogs or the mechanisms, you'd put something better in to actually upgrade it rather than just repair it like for like.
Now that makes sense doing that. Like, and that doesn't go again. That's it's a toss up, isn't it? It's like, you've got to replace that part if you want your beloved gun to continue working. I mean, I still need to replace parts in some of my older guns, so I'll be getting something that'll last. But these older guns have lasted me. I've been playing Airsoft 21 years this year.
Ooh.
Can you believe it?
Many happy returns when it comes to Airsoft.
21.
Yeah, I feel like we got to do something special for that 21st anniversary.
Beats playing with Springers and Squirrel Woods, eh?
How many games is that, Grim? Do you know? Do you have an estimate for that?
God.
You could say it's the estimate that you played two.
Let me take your shoes off to count.
That you played 2 a month. 2 a month.
Oh no! Back when I used to marshal and that as well, I'd be there every weekend. So it'd be a Saturday and a Sunday, and then there would be some weeknight ones as well.
Okay, so you're in the height. You're probably well over 1,000.
Yeah, I'm in the 4-digit mark at least.
Yeah. Wow, dude. I mean, what's this? I'm probably in the mid 200s. Myself, and that's playing twice. That's probably playing.
Yeah, but the thing is, it doesn't matter how many games you play.
No,
does it?
I'm just saying. I mean, when you think about it,
Mr. Rental with the rental gun can still kill me.
Yeah, exactly. That was always the best.
With no upgrades in his gun.
Yeah, well, that was the best thing about playing for the first time, is you'd have these guys and all the kit, and you just go, ha, pop, fuck you, and run away. It's like
destroy them and their sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
I spent money on my gun.
Well, did you see the picture I sent you earlier of an old teammate of mine in his Stargate loadout?
No, what did you send us that?
I sent it. I'm sure I sent it to the Yankee chat.
Yeah,
Yankee
you did.
Chat. Yeah, an old friend of mine wearing his old SG1 loadout. Now back then, there was nary a bloody plate carrier. No sign of a stitch of mole. And if it was like, they were the proper Gucci guys back then. There was none of this cry of precision. Multicam was just a twinkling in its father's eye of, its father being bloody, what is it, M83 or DPM?
I'd say DPM.
Well, for them TP anyway, you'd say DPM, but for Multicam, I'd say M83.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, same thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Both woodland camos.
You are right. A guy with a rental unupgraded gun can easily take you out of a game, make you respawn more than anyone who's got a freaking high spec freaking.
Same thing goes for the real world, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
That guy who's just jumped out of his technical with his AK-47, who's just let loose all 30 of his rounds. It only takes one of them rounds to hit you.
That is true. That is definitely true. Yeah. Very, very morbid to think about, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the topic.
Yes, back to the topic.
Like you say, that AK-47 wasn't upgraded.
Yeah, it's probably about 60 years old and is held together by duct tape, but it still gets you.
Yeah. Probably handed down through the family.
Yes. You are now a man today, son. Go kill people.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else.
Have a good for when you come back.
Have we just turned into an extremist podcast? Are we going to stop talking about Airsoft and start talking about other things?
Let's move on back to Airsoft.
I don't know. Tell me about your staples.
I mean, what I'm saying is,
is that
the
classed as
infidels. Is it? That's the thing. You said that's like an extra millimeter or so of armor. To me, that's potential shrapnel that's going to end up inside me.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why the
all right.
hell would he staple it? Anyway, yeah. So,
Anyway.
like I say, you can be a basic rental with no upgrades or anything in his gun, and he can still be the one to take out Mr. Gucci.
Oh yes, and it's always
And
nice to
Mr.
see
Gucci
Mr.
could have
Gucci
his.
go away in a huff.
Yeah, Mr. Gucci could be there in his fully decked out rig, looking like SEAL Team 6. All real SEAL parts on his gun, everything like that. His gun will have cost him several grand. Okay, tell you what, I guarantee you Mr. Gucci can probably outrange Mr. Rental.
Mm-hmm.
And could probably be a
Yeah,
lot more
no doubt,
accurate
no
than Mr.
doubt.
Rental. But if all it takes is Mr. Rental's 1 BB to hit Mr. Gucci.
Yep, and he's back to respawn. Exactly.
Well, as long as he takes it.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
you know he won't.
Well, I read. No, funnily enough, I read something on one of the forums of someone was playing, and there's a load of these bloody milsimmers rocked up, and they shot them, and the guy's like, "I'm wearing level 5 plates." I've never even heard of level 5 plates in my life.
What
I've
the
only heard up to
hell?
level 3 myself.
Wait, so he didn't take his hit because he had.
So he goes, it can stop an AK, so I'm not hit.
We're not firing AKs. Oh, that means so that's like a 5-year-old saying I'm wearing super impenetrable mega decker armor, and I'm not dead.
I'd have
you
said
are.
one thing to him.
Yeah.
I'd have said one thing to him. Does your face stop the arse end of this rifle? Probably mid swing, so he wouldn't have been able to duck.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on, that is for all those upgrades. That's another thing. Is like you get all these upgrades. Do you think you're superior?
I
guess some people
I
do. Yeah.
I think right now. This is it's a bit of a tricky one here for me to say. This like I do, but I don't. It's like I've got my gun's better than the rental. I know my gun's better than the rental, but that doesn't stop the rental from being able to kill me as well. Now I keep that in mind every time I take to the field. Now I think a lot of people who will go all out with these upgrades and go all super Gucci can tend to forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's plenty of times where you can just the kind of person.
Yeah. So you get like this. What's it? A programmable Leviathan. What's it? MOSFET
with an app on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What the? It just hang on a minute. Let me just whip my phone out mid firefight and switch this from 3-round burst.
I could actually I can make my motor do "God Save the Queen" by just pressing a button.
Why? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick, right? Now it's all funny and all fun and games and all that. When you're in the shop and your motor's going, and you're like, all right, sound, your motor's doing that. What's it doing to the fucking gears inside?
Yeah, and how's it firing BBs? Is it good to actually make them go? I don't think it would, to be honest.
No, here's the thing. If your weapon in the real world couldn't be switched from 3-round burst to full auto because it only goes safe, semi, and burst, why the hell are you putting that kind of crap in there? Spending that money. If you wanted a gun to be as realistic like that, then why?
What? Did we just lose him?
I think we did. Which is probably just as well because we never get a word in edgeways, but I can't agree with him enough there.
Yeah, that's true. He's a
simple case of.
I think his microphone's just been bricked.
Have those 3 settings to safe, repetition, full auto. If it's a gun that actually has it, then fantastic. I sort of understand changing it if you're going to take something that has full auto and you want to turn it into a DMR. Then okay, yeah, that needs to be single shot only.
So I think what we were trying to get at is that sorry, did I? Let me just say is that we're talking about maintenance upgrades here. So when something fails, it's worth it then perhaps changing out your gears, especially if they're not steel gears or something like that, to make it last longer next time. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
After you put so many rounds through the hop rubber, changing out the hop rubber, getting a better one. Like a maple leaf or that isn't standard in the gun. Oh, he's just left the chat. He'll be back. maybe maybe one of the basic ones I'd probably recommend is probably the inner barrel upgrade. Is probably one of the ones I would recommend.
You see, now you're going on to sort of new realms of conversation. So, as you know, I frequent a quaint little shop called Airsoft Anonymous. Good people, good products, good guys, good games. Sometimes they arrange private games.
Crazy upgraders. Crazy upgrade.
Yeah, for sure. And their clientele, as frequent and regular as they are, have come to expect certain upgrades as basic. So if you get something out of the box, it's all very nice, it's all very good. It's my understanding that certain people will immediately say, right, these 3 things need doing to it. And the tight bore barrel is straight up one of the first thing that goes in there, along with flat hopping it and something. It's basically a different sort of connector for the battery, so it ups the amps going from the battery into the motor. So effectively, it runs more efficiently, and fires. I think there must be an increase of something like 3 or 5 FPS, but it's a much more efficient way of using the battery, and it's much more consistent. So the FPS stays. It's the same.
It's going from Timia to Dean's connections on the wiring with the battery.
Yeah.
It's a more solid connection.
Yeah, I do.
So some people will get a new riff and immediately do that because that's just what they've come to know as like the bare minimum of upgrades.
You do know you can buy these riffs with the Dean's connectors already installed.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, but also if they've got their eyes set on a particular riff.
I mean, with the exception of my little amoeba, all mine are all Deans.
But mine are all still Tamiya.
Ah.
I'm tempted to switch them all across to Deans.
Well, that way you can be a battery slut and you run out and borrow someone's battery if everyone has the same connections.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's the thing about the whole Tamiya thing, because obviously Tamiyas are a lot more abundant.
Yeah, especially if you're using a freaking tracer hop unit that bloody destroys your battery. That's the first thing.
Not bitter at all.
No, not not bitter at all. I like my Lovo, I do, but
know what you want to do then, Lucas? You know what you want to do? You want to remove it.
Yeah, downgrade it.
Standard one in there.
It's fine now. Because I've taken the connection that puts the light on. Basically, I've just taken that off, and it's fine. I can run a battery for half all day if I wanted to. But I change it out at lunchtime. It's just that first experience. It drained a 7.4 pretty much after one game. So that's probably why I wouldn't recommend upgrading your guns anymore, personally. Except the maintenance upgrades, like we just mentioned. Changing out a failed part, and then maybe the bare minimum upgrade would be Dean's connector, tight bore barrel, and maybe, as Friendly Fire said, flat hop on it as a minimum.
Now we're overlooking something here, guys.
What's that?
We're talking solely AEG here as well.
That is
what about
true.
Springer sniper rifles? I've totally upgraded my striker.
You know what? I think that is probably the only riff I would recommend upgrading. I think
everyone out of the box, unless it's a silverback or a Novorich special, needs upgrading because it just cannot compete in the field if it's left untouched.
No, not these days.
I don't know. I've very rarely owned sniper. I owned a sniper, but I never used it. I sold it about a month later.
Did you upgrade your ASO2?
You know what? I still haven't. I found a really awesome all-in-one kit. I think it came to about maybe £230 that I was convinced that I'd favorited on my web browser, but I since can't find it. I found a website that has all the individual parts, but it's still unupgraded at the moment. It's got a nice scope on it. That's it.
That costs around about the same price as the gun itself.
Yeah, that's it. You'd be spot on. Bearing in mind when I got it, it was pre-loved effectively, and came with about 5 mags. So yeah, it was about the same price. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're buying a sniper rifle twice.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what always put me off. That's why I end up getting rid of my L96. because the TML96 is apparently one of the most expensive to upgrade and still couldn't compete with the likes of a BSR 10 fully upgraded, or the what is it? Oh god, it's like the I think it's based off the M40 or the M41. You know, the Marine sniper rifle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, M24. That's the one.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
If you are into this,
I think. See, the thing is, the issue is people don't know if they're going to appreciate sniping as a style of play, so they buy budget, sit in the back for a bit, and think, "Oh right, well I'm actually not doing anything with this, so I need to upgrade it before I can find out if I like sniper rifles."
that is
Now,
the caveat, isn't it? That is the catch-22.
yeah, and it's awesome the fact that oh yeah, come play at our site. We'll give you a rental AEG and you can play for the day. I was like, well, what if I'd like a rental sniper? Why don't they do that?
That's you know what? That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Options
For rental kit. Maybe change out the pricing a little bit as well.
Yeah,
They're a bit more fragile than snipers are a bit more fragile than AEG.
but that's another thing as well. I mean, you've got to then put a scope on it, haven't you? Which with a rental that could get knocked around. I mean, it's a good idea in theory, but then you've got to think about who's renting it.
Yeah.
And then generic zeroing.
Could be Mr. Fortnite thinks he's Novrich. Starts running around the front lines with this sniper rifle, throwing it up over hills and all that. Because he's watched a few videos of Novrich, and you're like, all right, then sounds. There goes our bloody.
Yeah, but what Novrich doesn't show you is that every time he knocks it on a branch, he's sitting there for 20 minutes making sure it's zeroed properly again because it's a cheaper ass scope and not real steel.
I guarantee he probably spends more time re-zeroing. I mean, don't forget, all these videos, people only show you the best bits. They don't show you all the misses. You might throw the odd one here and there in, but, all these airsoft snipers will show you, obviously, all of their best bits.
So we're laying down the challenge now to YouTubers who snipe to show us an honest approach to
unedited gameplay. Yeah,
an unedited day. Yeah. Everything that's involved. So Novrich, obviously you're a super fan of this podcast. Just hear the call. Hear the call, bro, and show us what it's really like to snipe.
Yeah,
and that goes for all of Novrich's mates, like Clean Shot and Silo. And
we're not frightened. Man. Do you know what? We'll take you all on. 3 of us, you can snipe all day long.
We'll end up with freaking whelps the size of freaking melons on our foreheads.
No, don't forget.
We'll still win.
Yeah.
We've got AEGs fresh out of the box that haven't been upgraded. I think we've got this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a pair of filthy old DPM coveralls.
Yeah. Shitty ass boots laces have just snapped on us. We'll get you. We'll have you.
and a sweaty old paintball mask.
Hello, Fatal. Welcome to the podcast, dude.
Anyway.
Hey, Fatal.
Fatal, today's topic of discussion is airsoft upgrades. Now, you did let loose the other day that you are a player of airsoft. What's your opinion, man? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, Fatal, let us know, bud.
You think upgrading your airsoft rifles, pistols, AEGs, whatever, is worth it in your opinion. Also ask any questions as well. It's always useful.
Lucas, can you fire the link across to the Yankee chat quickly, and then I can copy and paste it and put it into the old Wolf chat? Because I know Starburst and Shadow may be on to watch. Because we know Andy likes to get on.
Mr. Guy with the drum mag, definitely.
Yeah, Mr. Shadow.
Mr. Shadow.
Yeah. But Mr. Starburst may join us as well if he's about.
Yeah.
He's the gentleman in the picture with the Stargate.
Like taking ping pong pocket together with better parts. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about, Fatal. That's exactly what we're talking about. Okay.
Right. All right. Fatal. What do you tend to run, and what have you done to it to upgrade it, if you have?
He says he was a fan of CQB.
Okay. Oh God, he's not a speed softer, is he?
No. No, God, no.
There's another thing as well.
Go on.
Right? how often does anything come out the box as a HPA?
No,
That's another type of
yeah,
upgrade.
you can't actually buy HPA
okay.
straight out of the box, can you? You've got to go to a specialist to do it.
I know a couple of guys who are HPA fanatics, and obviously HPA has its own issues now because apparently a lot of game sites are going to be either restricting them or banning
Yep.
HPAs because a simple
I've heard
twist
that
of a
too.
valve and it's over the site limits.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Fatal's just said, "I don't upgrade my weapons unless they need them. Like if they are broken." So he's the same school of thought as us. Maintenance upgrades. Or I'm bored.
Where's Fatal from? He can come join us and join the team.
I'm not sure. He's definitely UK based. I know that much.
Oh yeah, no.
Where he is.
I can tell from his accent.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good to know. At least we're all on the same page. I mean, I've definitely learned a hard lesson, but
you need to downgrade slightly.
no, it's fine now. It's just it's taken a long time to get it right, get the rift back to where it was because it was. The thing is, when I wanted to get it, I had to go over base one. I thought it was great. So why I decided to upgrade it, I don't know. He's like, oh, he's not too far away from us by the sound of it. About 30 minutes away, so he's probably a wool or a mank.
Oh God! Or a wool mank.
Or a wool mank, yeah.
Or a mank wool.
Yeah, somewhere in that region. All right, that's good to know. Yeah, so we've kind of come full circle here, haven't we? We said that upgrading for upgrade's sake, not worth it.
Upgrading for repair's sake, probably worth it.
Yeah. And then upgrading specific types, specific platforms, worth it. Obviously, we're talking about
sniper rifles.
Sniper rifles, definitely worth it. And then, he's just told me where he's from. I won't say it here, but I'll let you. For future reference, I'll let you guys. And then what about pistol? And HPA is definitely a full package upgrade. Because you can't buy them out the box. You've got to get the tank. You've got to get the HPA regulator. You've got to get the pipe. You've got to get the bits inside. Yeah. You still need
the only way you're getting a full setup is buying second hand.
Yeah, you've got to buy it. You still got to use a battery, etc., etc. And then, as you said, friendly fire sites are thinking, let's get rid of HPA because of fuel.
Well, there's been talk about it being banned for a while. As one of our Milson guys, has been he's been saying it for ages.
Yeah.
That HPA is on the chopping block, and you know what? To be honest, personally, I've got nothing against HPA, but I also welcome the fact that it's on the chopping block purely for the fact of I'm a stone cold AEG user, and just today I was talking about like back in the mid 2000s, HPA was just a twinkle in someone's eye. Thoughts about that. It was AEGs and Springers. You rarely even saw a GBB rifle. That was an absolute rarity.
Yeah.
And even back then, like upgrades. That again, upgrades again the Gucci people did it. It wasn't just an everyday occurrence.
Yeah, I mean,
we become what we hate the most.
It's just like exactly. It's like one of the it's like with HPA though. We've all fell victim to the dickhead who ups the PSI after chrono. Because I've had some serious flesh taken out of my arms by guys who have done, especially in CQB situations.
Question is why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
So
did they do it because they were going for a non-hit taker, or
I don't know, but
just bring in the hurt.
Bring in the hurt basically. I think
they're just doing it to cause harm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to cause harm, use metal BBs. Maybe start firing darts instead of plastic.
You know,
Maybe join the army and, kill some Terry Talibans or whatever we're calling them these days. Just...
Yeah, but the thing is, they're though friendly. They don't get to respawn afterwards and then brag.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's true.
Do you not?
Also, they don't get to run around with just a pistol.
Yeah.
You've actually got to wear, the Vetus, and then got to carry their rifle. And don't forget,
My
an
favorite
SA-80,
people.
Yeah, an SA-80 does weigh, a hell of a lot more than some tricked out HPA high capper.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's fine. You just take your knife out and you can run faster.
Oh,
Oh,
gee,
yeah,
never
true.
thought of that.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
See.
thought of that.
Yeah, not just a hat rack, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, doing those lovely little instant drops to the floor without any repercussion to aim or accuracy as well. Why didn't we think of that?
Or to their ankles.
Yeah, this is why we have you here, Friendly Fire.
I know.
You think of these.
You're quite blessed.
Tell you what,
really
you could
are.
do it at the last second as well. You could 360 before they stab.
Oh, right, yeah, and just shoot without aiming. That's also great. Yeah.
Wait, I'm lost here. Are we taking a piss out of me, or are people out that use HBAs? What's going on?
I think we're taking a piss out of speed softers and Call of Duty players.
Speed
right.
softers who think they're playing Call of Duty. Let's put it that way.
Let's just say Fortnite players.
Yeah. Be honest.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, you mean paintballers?
Oh, he said the P word. He said
we can't have a single episode without me saying the P word.
Oh, we got taking the piss out of speed softers for that matter. I know what'll make me shoot better. A little freaking handle on the side of my freaking of my slide. Yeah, because that makes a hell of a lot of difference.
Just so I can cock it easier.
That makes
It's not hard to cock.
That makes a hell of a lot of difference when you're firing a CO2 BB at someone. Yeah.
Drum mags. HPA drum mags.
Yeah.
Even better than that is they put the little lip on the mag well, to load faster. Yet they're using a drum mag that they don't need to reload.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there's some upgrades we definitely can't get behind. The little cocking hammer and the flared magwell lip thing.
Now, I get the flared magwell if you're using standard mags and you want to reload faster. Yeah. But if you're using a drum mag that you're not going to swap out, it's just extra weight.
Well, if you're using a drum mag and a pistol, which is HPA connected, I think you've got issues anyway. To be perfectly honest with you. But,
you got it. Mommy and Daddy didn't love you enough. They just threw money at you.
Start a 360 no scoping with Taliban with a bayonet with a laser sight on it.
Oh, nice one, Fatal.
That's a badass. If you can do that, it's just it's like. Have you guys ever seen Battlefield Friends? Level 100 Colonel says, "Thanks. I've just unlocked the bipod from my bipod." Or the bipod for my knife, I think is what she said. Yeah. Okay, so I think we pretty much covered all the bases here, guys. We're in agreement that maybe upgrades are not a necessary thing, whether you're buying high-end or low-end guns, either way. With low-end guns, there's no point. You might as well get a more expensive gun. With high-end guns, it should be pretty decent out of the box anyway, so what's the point?
So it should only be for repairs.
Yeah. Maintenance, repairs, repair upgrades, that's probably the most effective way of doing it, because at least then you're only changing out one part. Bare minimum, if you are going to do it, as Friendly Fire said, Dean's connectors, type or barrel, flat hop on it is probably the bare minimum you need to do on any riff. Maybe a full upgrade for sniper rifles to compete in the field, but then again, you're going to have to spend the money up front to make sure you like sniping, so there's a catch-22 with that.
Yeah, just make friends with a sniper and ask to play with their riff one day.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing.
That's the one thing I've seen is a lot of new guys in, a lot of youngsters and new guys in are like, oh, I want to be a sniper. It's like, oh, you know what? You're definitely not bloody Jackson from Saving Private Ryan.
Friendly Fire has called out the entire Airsoft YouTube community to show us a full unedited day of all the little things they have to do to
I'm not frightened of them.
Show us your 30 minutes in between after you.
I'll tell you where I live, guys. Come on, come get some. I don't do that. I won't do
Fatal's
that.
not a huge fan of snipers. Neither am I, to be honest. There's one particular sniper I'm not a huge, to be honest. But
We all know who that
we all
is.
know who that is. Yeah.
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 Does it rhyme with flipping cup stand?
That's yep. That'll be the one. That'll be the
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah. And when it comes to pistols itself, don't point. No bother. Don't point. No point. There's no point. There really is no point to upgrading pistols, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I don't. Oh, hang on. Let's just backtrack on that. Maybe for certain pistols, hop up. So yeah, hop rubber. Or if you're competition shooting. Right now, normally we have our little competition at the TTPC. Now, the high capper, which is my go-to, that thing's trick. That's got the crazy jet in a barrel, Decepticon hop,
and you still lose. What?
Yeah, but think how much more he'd lose if he didn't have those upgrades.
That is true.
I only come second anyway.
It's
because my reaction time's too slow because I'm an old man.
You're an old man.
Oh. Yeah, but the thing is, if you ask around the rest of the peeps out there at TTPC, all their pistols are tricked out too.
I know.
It's very few are not tricked out.
I know. I just must.
It's either they're not tricked out or they are, a super cool high-end epic laser.
Combat Master Knight,
like
2011. Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know. And we did you notice the trend that has started with the bloody long mag as well?
Oh yeah, that's funny. That was. Mind you, to be fair, I think that they.
That's an upgrade in itself. Yeah. For the likes of the competition shoot.
To be honest, though, it's like they need to start introducing the competition element of it again. It did
back like in the old shop.
Yeah, it did go to more of a just let's turn up and have a bit of fun, which is great, but it's
not what you go to school for, is it?
Exactly. Do the monthly competition again. Do the monthly time trial again. Faster speed.
Yeah.
I only played those a few times.
We were saying, and I think that's what Americans go to school for, though, isn't it?
Oh God!
Sorry. I'll feed myself out.
Yeah, damn, son, that is harsh. Mr. Taylor, welcome to the chat, sir. How are you? I saw you popping in there.
There we go. Told you the our shadow would turn up.
Yeah, let's just see if he's willing to give us his opinion on upgrades. So, have we covered everything, do you think? Is there any additional comments and points you guys want to make? Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Pistol-wise, like the Mark 23s are pretty good. You can probably do a little bit with the Mark 23 to make it nice and quiet. That would go for, again, though, who's the majority who uses a Mark 23?
Mr. Taylor, the topic of discussion is upgrades for Airsoft rifs. Are they worth it? Asked Fatal what his opinion is. He seems to be in agreement with us. As you've missed it, you're not influenced by our discussion, so you're pure to the conversation. Yeah. Let us know what you think about upgrading your Airsoft weapons in the thing, and I'll let Grimlock carry on with his pistol talk.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, who uses the likes of a Mark 23 very often? Snipers. So I suppose that role in itself is very upgrade focused.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah,
rifle, pistol. Yeah. Otherwise, pistol-wise, hop up.
Yeah.
Replacing hop ups. At most, maybe in a barrel if you want that type bore. That's about all I've really upgraded.
Wow, it would appear everyone is of agreement here. Mr. Taylor has just said upgrade when broken. There you go. I think if
it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yep, I've learned the hard way, and it's taken a while. But we are definitely of that opinion. Fatal's of that opinion. He was just in the chat. We three are, I think. But again, I think it's a valid point. It depends on the platform you're using. Well, I guess that would. I mean, if you've got all your HPA kit, you'll want to upgrade to HPA. If you're sniping, you want to upgrade that to get to be competitive to what you're used to. So yeah, I guess.
True.
But when it comes to plain old AEGs and shotguns and your bog standard pistols,
I've never known of anyone to upgrade a shotgun, barring to upgrade it to HPA, which is the likes of the TM breaches and the TM KSGs.
Yeah, how would you upgrade a shotgun in that respect without upgrading it to HPA?
probably putting an M4 adapter on it. That's probably about all as far as I would go.
That's about the best you can do for it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you replace all three of the inner barrels with type
That'd
bores
be a
or
fucking
something.
pain in the ass, wouldn't it, to do?
Well, the question is, if you're putting type bores in the shotgun, why are you putting type bores in the shotgun when a shotgun is meant to give you spread?
But
Yeah.
does only fire 3 BBs at a time, though. What they should make is some sort of like small launcher. So, like my Zoxnor mini launcher that fires 40 BBs at once. That put
I
in
love
shell
them things.
form would be glorious.
Yeah, I love them things. They're great.
They're
Yeah, well,
amazing.
you
They
can get
really
you
are.
can get the shotguns, which obviously with the
Kind of-
ejecting shells, and you basically fill the little shell with, I think it's about 10 BBs each, and that gives you a really good spread.
Strengthen the
I love
pump
a good
action.
spread.
I don't know if you can actually do that. Maybe on spring shotguns, not on gas.
No, the shells themselves are filled with gas. It's
Right.
Trying to remember. I know the Mad Max.
So they're like
shotgun.
12 gauge grenades instead of 40 millimeters. It's just a 12 gauge sort of mock up.
Pretty much, instead of having like the Moscat as a 40 mil, it's basically a shotgun size
I like
shell.
that.
I
Sounds
will
good
fire
to
a
me.
few links in our chat. Lucas can fire them up into to where he needs to after the podcast. What am I on? However, if you just do a search for the XM26, that's it's basically, it's not even pump action. It's an underslung that can be used standalone.
Right.
And
That's
it
interesting.
has a magazine. Takes, I think, 4 to 5
Like the
of
Mass
these
26,
CO2.
is it? It's not like the Mass 26, but like you've got like the levers on the side.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Mass 26. I think you're right.
Yeah, seen.
The XM26 I've known it as. Yeah, the levers on the side. I was going to get myself one, but yeah, I'm left-handed. I'd have to swap it
Just
all
walk
over. and
around
get
the other
the
way
cock handle
around.
over.
Yeah.
Apparently, I think you can swap the cock and handle over, but I'm just like, I don't really need to lose a shotgun shell each time I cock the thing.
You see, that's an upgrade as
That's the
well
one
that I
thing that
think
put
is
me off them.
completely plausible for left-handed shooters. Devil Spawn would be
Swap the charging handle.
swapping. Yeah, just swap it round. Or the mag release catch, swap that round.
If you can do that on certain weapons, I mean, look at the L98, the L95, L85. Nearly said L98 then, the cadet rifle. Yeah, the L85 can't do it on that. You can do it on. Apparently, you're meant to be able to swap the bolt over on the FAMAS, on the real world one. Same for the AUG. Same for the TAR 21 Tavor.
It might be a bullpup thing though, isn't it? Might just be. Like...
Well, I've just reeled off 3 bullpups where you can swap it to be used for left-hander.
Yeah, because the magazine and the gas
The
gas
SA18
pins and are at the back, so they're not actually interfering with the charger handle.
Yeah.
So...
But the SA18 was just a lazy design to keep it cheap. Don't forget, your weapon is made by the lowest bidder. It was designed by, and don't forget, the original S80 was designed by Enfield.
That's the
It wasn't
MOG
produced by
way,
Enfield.
though, isn't it? You know, let's save some money.
It wasn't produced by Enfield. It went to H&K, and that was the best thing they could have ever done for it, for the A2.
Yeah, give it to someone competent.
Anyway, we digress from Airsoft.
Yes. Well, we do that occasionally. We're free spirits and free thinkers here. We're not. Not going to move. Not going to be if we actually talk.
But then again, the rifs we use are based on real world weapons, and it's nice to have a little bit of knowledge on how the working ins and outs of the real world.
Yeah, and when real steel manufacturers start making airsoft weapons, Kalashnikov do.
Oh, Chiappa.
Yeah, Kalashnikov make airsoft AKs. It's quite cool actually. That's a note.
Yeah, and
Hey, Grim.
the Italian
Speaking
company
of
Chiappa.
Go on.
Speaking of real world equivalents here, I think Bambi is the only one who's not actually live fired the real thing. So
Nope.
I don't know. Maybe we need to book some time on a range somewhere.
Hey, I'm
I think
down
that'd be
for
a
that.
good idea.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Whether we can, what we can have access to try, I've got no problem.
Beast Scott will have knowledge on where to go because he was recently chasing after his firearms license.
All right.
So
Andrew said, I think Andrew, we kind of crossed paths a little bit with Mr. Taylor saying that you need to strengthen the pump to get better gas efficiency when it comes to airsoft gas shotguns. Do you mean I think he means the valve, maybe swapping valves out. Quite sure.
Yes, or the tank, because obviously
tank, yeah.
the TM have obviously separate tanks.
Mm.
It's the likes of the oh god, what's the name? Is it? It's not the Valcon ones, is it?
Elaborate then, Mr. Taylor. I'm not quite sure what you mean by strengthening the pump. Unless you're talking about your Swedish cock pump, and then that's completely different. But we'll talk about that later. Anyway, carry on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean the actual cocking action? Right. Okay. I see.
That doesn't sound any better from what you've just gone from.
That's true.
Yeah, cocking action. That's normal conversation.
Well, for us it is.
A gas-operated shotgun is going to pump a lot easier than a spring-operated shotgun because you don't have the spring as tension to push against.
One-handed Terminator pumping. Oh god, it's getting worse. Stop
you
talking, Taylor.
You can one-handed Terminator pump a gas-operated shotgun a hell of a lot easier than you can spring-operated shotgun.
That is true.
Especially if that spring-operated shotgun weighs like less than your wallet.
Does anyone else really want to see Taylor's one-handed pump?
No. I think it's
just
you.
me.
I kind of do.
Yeah, thank you. Right, that's right. 2 out of 3. So,
it would be with the army experience, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's getting
I'm only ever willing to spectate. I ain't playing Soggy Biscuit.
Oh god, getting worse. Man, it's getting worse. I think on that note we'll end it. I think we've covered all the bases.
Yeah. And then some.
And then some. Yeah, we've gone to places we didn't need to go.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to go get the custard creams.
Oh, fucking hell. Right. We're definitely ending the podcast now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Taylor, Fadal, thank you for your contributions to the conversation, as well as Grimlock and Friendly Fire. December's podcast is still going to go ahead, but we'll have a game day review. Anyway, me and Friendly Fire.
I might even have 2 games to talk about. Can you believe it? 2.
Get a load of you. Are you doing the Z-Mart
thing?
It's
out of lockdown. We should be out of lockdown by then. So if there's anywhere up north that's playing, then I'll be trying to get out to that, and I'll be trying to drag your ass along, providing you're not at Andover.
That was the 6th.
The 6th?
The 6th of December.
Okay, the 6th.
It's going to be super. It's going to be super 30th game.
Super 30th game on the 6th of December. Yeah. So we'll probably have quite a few games to talk about, which is always nice to talk. We haven't come up with a topic yet, but I'm sure we'll find.
I have a possible idea for the next.
Yeah, well then put it in the chat.
I don't know if you want to hear it now, or if you just want me to put it into the chat.
Put it into the chat.
Yeah.
We want to keep people surprised.
Guessing. Yeah.
We want to give them reasons to come back, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
So that is us done, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Grimlock and Friendly Fire for joining us for the conversation.
Always a pleasure.
We
Hi.
once again went around the houses, but got to the points we wanted to make. As always, that is us done. My next gaming stream is tomorrow, Mech Warrior Monday. Bit of a nerd spag for me and Grimlock again. Masonry in the Inner Sphere is the way, as they say. And hopefully you'll be able to join me then from 7 o'clock. But that is us done. Say goodbye, Grimlock.
Goodbye, Grimlock.
Say goodbye, Friendly Fire.
Goodbye, Friendly Fire.
And that is us done. Until next time, take care.